What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of High Intake, the channel made for enthusiasts just like me. In this episode, I'll be throwing another sim racing video at you guys. This time, though, I will be trying out, pretty much for the first time, an open-wheeled Formula 3 RSR race car. Now, today's track is going to be Road Atlanta. Definitely one of my favorite tracks. It keeps you guessing. It's got short straights, long straights, fast corners, long corners, pretty much everything you need in a racetrack. And yeah, this Formula car definitely took a long time to get used to. I was not very good at it at all, and well, still not very good at it. But it's no traction control, no ABS, and high speeds, quick gear shifts. You got to be on your toes all the time. And so I practiced for a long time on this track. In this car, and finally got used to it enough to complete a race. So here we go. 8-lap race, starting in 12th position out of 20, Formula 3, kicking it off with a good start, trying to jump ahead here to any race, but especially formula racing when you're having to deal with such quick shifts. The start of the race is so important. You have to get quick off the line, try and make a couple of spots if you can, because this is going to be a long race. So there we go. Look at that. Another pass. We made 3-4 positions in the first 2 corners. Now trying to keep close to this group. This corner in particular right here, it was hard to get used to, trying to figure out what gear to stay in. But I did well that time. First lap is going really well. You couldn't ask for a better start, I would say. Made up a bunch of positions. That guy's trying to get to the outside of us. I can't ever carry enough speed through this little horseshoe corner, this double apex. So I passed him briefly, but he got me back. So really trying to get in that slipstream. Cut to the inside. See if I can gain that position. Coming up to a quick chicane. The highest speed part of the track right here, all of a sudden you have to go to the lowest speed portion of the track, so it's very difficult to get used to. Couldn't make that position, trying to stay in the slipstream, going side by side in the last corner, and the first lap is officially done. Look at that. We're all the way up to 6th position. So the difficulty for the AI here that I'm racing against in Assetto Corsa is it's pretty high. It's about 90%. 91%, and especially me being in a car that I'm not used to, that's a pretty hefty task to play against the AI at 91%. So at this point, we've gained so many positions. P6 at the end of the race wouldn't be half bad, would it? So at this point, I'm just saying, stick to my roots. Remember what gears to be in at certain corners. Make sure I don't brake too late or too early. And coming out of corners is so important in a Formula car. No, like I said earlier, no traction control. So if you press the throttle too quick out of the corner, you're going to spin every single time. And that's what I kept doing in practice before qualifying and before this race. I had to restart it multiple times because I could not get used to the traction or the lack thereof. So trying to keep it clean, trying to stay with these guys in front of me. Finished 2 laps, starting the 3rd now, out of an 8-lap race. Started P12, now we're in P6. So really nice start of the race. Picked up 6 positions. Trying not to slide. See, look at that. Any little slide that you do in this Formula car, or any really car in general, but especially Formula open wheel cars, that any slide that you make going in or out of a corner is going to cost you so much time, and you're going to lose so much momentum. So that's the really hard part, staying with the pack that's in front of you, because you never know what can happen. Any missed gear shift or wrong braking point or wrong acceleration point out of a corner, you're going to mess yourself up. See how close those guys are now? So at this point, I lost, after that little slide, I lost little bit of my position there to the car in front, he created a pretty big gap. So these next few corners, I'm pretty much defending, watching my rearview mirror, making sure the guys behind me don't get too close or try to pass me. So I did well there to create a gap out in front of the guy behind me, so I'm not too worried about him now. Start of the 4th lap. Going up this hill is always tricky. You can't see this left turn, and then it goes into a sharp right. Drop another gear, get some more acceleration, and power down through the S's. I tell you what, I don't know how Lewis Hamilton and all those guys do it in Formula One cars, because I mean, this is no means super realistic. I mean, it's realistic, it's a sim racing game, but I don't get how they do it. The car is so intense, it's so fast, you got to be so perfect. You always have to look ahead. You got to know where you're at, you got to know where the other cars are at, you got to shift perfectly every time. Your throttle response has to be amazing, because spinning is so easy, sliding is so easy. But here we go, coming up to the end of lap 4. I got really close to this guy, trying to make a move on the outside. Coming up to the last corner, I'll probably slide right in front of him. There we go, gained another position into P5, start of the 5th lap. So we're halfway through the race, and I would say we've done really well, thankfully, so far. Starting in P12, and now we're in P5, lap 5. So we've created a good gap after that pass. Now it's time to chase down these two fellas up in front. It's going to be a tall order, tough task. Got to be pretty much perfect. I'm pretty close to this guy ahead of me. So within the next lap or so, I believe I can make a move. This long straight, if I was any closer to the guy in front than I am now, I could definitely take advantage of the slipstream and maybe make a corner at this chicane. But I mean, I would say I'm probably within a second of him, but for sure. But you want to be probably within half a second or 0.3 seconds for that slipstream to really kick in and make a move at a corner. So we're staying close. We're definitely staying close. Finished lap 5 right here. Keeping it clean. Last couple laps have been really clean. Just got to keep the momentum, keep the gear shifts at the proper points. Definitely close the gap now. I think we can make a move. I run a little wide there. I slow down a little bit because of that. Those curbings are always dangerous, especially in an open wheel car. It bumped me to the outside a little bit. So staying close, doing what I can. Running wide, trying to make a move. Going to the outside. I've got the inside for this corner, but I'm so slow at this corner. I really don't understand how they go that fast. I mean, it is the AI, but, you know. So I try to take advantage. Oh, and I slide. Gosh. I get so close. I take the position from him, lose it. We're side by side, and I slide. That's not what you want to do right there, guys, for sure. Like I've been saying this whole time, throttle response coming out of a corners, you got to be it's so touchy. You can't put too much throttle down or you'll slide, and you can immediately see how much position I lost from P4 just from sliding just a little bit. See, we have about 2 laps left, just less than 2 laps. Trying to see if I can make up my spot. You know, getting so close to P4, taking it briefly and then losing it. I really am going to push hard these last 2 laps to close that gap. I would love to come in P4 starting P12. tricky horseshoe, slide a little bit. Try not to this time. That was better, but it was slow. That's the problem. When you start thinking so hard about not sliding, you tend to slow down too much, and that's exactly what happened there. So the long, fast straight. I have clean air, but I don't have slipstream, so I'm not making any ground. I need to do it on this last 2 corners is where I'm pretty fast. Going up this hill in this long, sweeping right-hander. Now to end lap 7. So we have 1 lap to go. Pretty big gap to P4. Let's see if we can close it down. I might have to get a little risky here. Braking a little later. Trying to do anything I can to close the gap and come in P4. I can taste it. Going through the downhill S's. Up to the quick left. So far so good, pretty clean. I closed the gap just a hair. It seems pretty promising at this point. Got 3/4 of the track left. But here's my slow section. Let's see. Take it wide, touch the apex, gradually accelerate from 2nd gear. That was really good. It wasn't as slow as last lap, for sure. This is where I really needed the slipstream. If I was anywhere closer, I would be able to have an overtaking point here at the end, but a little too far, I would say. Let's see what I can do at this this quick chicane. All right, he slid a little bit. It's going to be a race to P4 down the hill, the long sweeping right. He's got the jump on me. Looks like he's going to do it. But look at that, guys. The race is finished P5. Started P12, 8-lap race at Road Atlanta in a Formula 3 RSR race car. This is actually Lando Norris's, a Formula 1 driver, his old Formula 3 car back when he was doing Formula 3. And unfortunately, I don't think I made him too proud there. So, but that was a good time. That was a lot of fun. These cars are definitely intense, super fun, super fast. They're loud. But let me tell you what, you have to be on point or you're going to mess up over and over and over. And as you saw from my pretty poor driving there, I wasn't very perfect, but I was able to come from P12 to P5 and have a really good race. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you clicking on this video, and y'all enjoy the rest of your day.